Missing Salah usually doesn't happen overnight. It almost always starts with small delays. You don't pray immediately, then it gets missed, and after a while, it becomes normal. That's the pattern most people fall into without realizing it. And I was one of them. So instead of thinking of it as a sudden change, it's better to understand it as a habit that slowly gets worse. Salah in Islam is not just a daily task. It's the structure of your day and your connection with Allah. When people start struggling with it, it's usually not because they stop believing, it's because their routine starts breaking down. Things like sleep, distractions, and inconsistent habits affect it more than people think. So, the first thing to understand is this: it's usually a lifestyle issue before it becomes anything else. It usually happens in a predictable way. You start sleeping late, so fajr becomes difficult. Then you begin delaying one prayer during the day. Then missing one doesn't feel serious, so it happens again. And over time, prayer shifts from being something automatic to something you have to constantly remind yourself about. That's where consistency breaks. Trying to fix all five prayers at once usually doesn't work if you are already struggling. A more realistic approach is rebuilding consistency gradually. Start with one prayer that you protect no matter what. Not all five, just one. Once that becomes stable, everything else becomes easier to rebuild around it. This is how habits actually recover in real life. The next step is making it practical. Don't rely on reminders in your head. Attach prayer to something fixed in your day. For example, Fajr is tied to waking up. Asr can be tied to when you get home from work. When you connect it to existing routines, it becomes much harder to miss. That's how consistency is built long term. One of the biggest problems people face is guilt. They miss one prayer, then think they have already failed, so they delay the next one. Then it becomes a cycle. But missing one prayer doesn't mean you have to miss the next one too. The key is simple: you don't stop the process, you just continue from the next opportunity. Motivation is not consistent, so you cannot depend on it. There will be days when you don't feel like praying at all. That's expected. In those moments, the focus is not feeling ready. The focus is just doing it. Because consistency is not built on motivation, it's built on repetition even when you don't feel like it. If you look at people who rebuild their prayer habits, it rarely happens dramatically. Most of the time, it starts with one decision. They choose one prayer and stick to it for a while. Then slowly they rebuild the rest. It's not fast, but it's stable. And stability is what actually matters here. So, if you are struggling with Salah right now, don't try to fix everything at once. Start by focusing on one prayer. Make it consistent. Then slowly build from there. Because in real life, consistency always comes before perfection. And coming back is always possible as long as you don't completely stop.